I heard there was rumors, people talking that you guys don't want a rehydration clause in the event if the fight does happen. Do you guys not want one?
Give them about that. You can only get so big and get too big, then that's on him.
Yeah, people want to see that fight, and maybe they see that fight. We don't know yet, right? But maybe they see that fight, and I'm always open to good fights,
Terence Crawford has revealed that Canelo Alvarez has included a rehydration clause for their upcoming fight. Meanwhile, Bernie, a member of Team Crawford, mentioned in an interview that Crawford and Canelo's fight is scheduled for September 13th. Although it hasn't been officially announced yet, Bernie let the cat out of the bag. Crawford is expected to move up to 168 pounds to challenge Canelo for his trio of super middleweight titles.
To 168, I wouldn't have to lose any weight. I wouldn't have to strain my body. I can just focus on getting stronger and getting sharper and just work on the things that I need to work on to fight a guy of that size.
You're on an 11-fight knockout streak. Is it important to you to continue that, or you just kind of take this fight as it happens?
I just take the fights how it happens. If the knockout come, it come. If it don't, I'm just looking at securing the victory at the end of the day. I never go in a fight looking for the knockout, but if it's there, I'm definitely going to take it.
Prediction on this one?
Like always, a victory.
All right, we'll see how it happens on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Terence Crawford, Israel Madrimov, Saturday from BMO Stadium here in Los Angeles. Champ, always good to see you. Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Boxing fans were already aware that Crawford and Canelo were set to face off in September, with leaks surfacing weeks ago. However, this marks the first official confirmation from someone within their camps. In response to criticism that Terence Crawford should first establish himself at 168 pounds before taking on Canelo, he dismissed the idea outright, simply saying, "Why?" He then laid out Crawford's impressive resume: a 2-division undisputed champion, a 3-division unified titleist, and a 4-division world champion. However, he notably omitted any mention of the caliber of opponents Crawford defeated to claim those belts, fighters largely considered beatable. September 13th, look forward to it. Crawford vs Canelo, Bernie the boxer said, fueling the hype around the mega fight. Yeah, it's happening. Crawford vs Canelo, not the other way around, he added. Speaking on social media, Bernie emphasized that Team Crawford stands by their belief that Crawford is pound for pound the best in the world and is soon to be the super middleweight king. The majority of fans are encouraging the fight rather than criticizing it. Despite concerns over Crawford's strength, power, and experience at 168, many believe Crawford can win, and some even think he's unbeatable, similar to the fervent supporters of David Benavidez. Fans have watched Benavidez dominate for so long that the idea of him losing to Canelo seems almost unthinkable. But a closer look at his 17-year career tells a different story. His success isn't just about skill, it's also about the level of competition he's faced, and frankly, he hasn't been tested by top-tier opposition. When Crawford moved up to 154 pounds to face Jermell Charlo's former opponent, Israel Madrimov, last August, he delivered a lackluster performance, far from his usual sharpness. Although he won a unanimous decision, the fight was closer than expected, with the judges scoring it 115 to 113, 116 to 112, and 115-113. Despite the ongoing speculation about Crawford's potential clash with Canelo, his trainer, Brian McIntyre, has made it clear that he isn't concerned with rehydration clauses or how much weight Crawford's opponent might gain after the weigh-in. In a conversation with Ricky, a writer for Ring magazine, McIntyre stated that if Crawford's opponent overdid it and became sluggish or hindered by their size, it would be their problem, not his or Crawford's. He emphasized that it wouldn't be a concern for him, saying, "It's entirely on the opponent if their size becomes a disadvantage." As for the rehydration clause, it's designed to ensure that an opponent doesn't gain too much weight between the weigh-in and the fight, which could create a significant weight disparity. With the difference in weight between Crawford and Canelo expected to be stark, the rehydration clause has become a point of contention, but McDonald remains unfazed.
So do you like Terence's chances even without a
I mean, I
rehydration
love
clause?
Terrence's chances when it first came out of his mouth. He said he won fighting.
And yeah, you guys have zero issues with...
I have no issue with it.
No issues.
Terence ain't got an issue with it. I ain't got it.
The reporter continued by asking whether McIntyre still believed Crawford could secure a victory without any rehydration limits. Without hesitation, McIntyre reaffirmed his unwavering faith in Crawford, insisting that weight restrictions wouldn't affect the outcome. He acknowledged that some might have doubts, pointing out that in the past, fighters facing larger opponents often prioritized having a rehydration clause. However, McIntyre dismissed this concern as nonsense. He argued that the concept of a rehydration clause was utterly absurd, criticizing the idea of limiting how much weight a fighter could gain after the weigh-in. For McIntyre, once the weigh-in is complete, it should be up to the fighter to control their weight however they choose. He stressed that fighters should simply step into the ring and fight like true competitors, especially since both sides have agreed to the bout.
In the past, most guys, when they're fighting bigger guys like that, that's going to be the first thing that they want.
That's some pussy shit. That's some weak shit. Oh, you can't come in this much and shit. Oh, man, get the fuck out of here. It's boxing. You got on the scale, I made the weight, regardless when I come back to ass. Hey, you accepted the fight, let's get in there and fight like men. Simple as that.
Appreciate you, Womack. Thanks for the time, man.
The confusion likely began after the Ryan Garcia vs. Gervonta Davis fight, where the term rehydration clause entered the spotlight. It's important to clarify the issue and ensure better communication going forward to avoid any further misunderstandings. To provide some background, Mike Coppinger recently emphasized that official contracts have not yet been signed. However, there's a strong chance that Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford might face off over the Mexican Independence Day weekend in September, assuming all details are finalized. As Crawford has said all along, the fight will take place at 168 pounds with no rehydration clause. According to ESPN's Boxing Insider, for boxing fans, this showdown pits two of today's top fighters against each other in a high-stakes clash to determine who truly deserves the title of the sport's best pound-for-pound contender. Crawford, likely to move up from light middleweight to super middleweight, is preparing for a highly anticipated fight with the Mexican champion. The event is shaping up to be one of the biggest spectacles of 2025. In an interview with IFL TV, Eddie Hearn admitted that Crawford would be at a significant disadvantage in what would be a showdown between two generations of greats. It's a huge spectacle, Hearn said. Crawford is moving up really 3 weight classes. He's just come up 1 weight class before, but now he's moving up 3. I think he'll be physically disadvantaged in the fight, but he's a great pound-for-pound fighter. It's two historical greats fighting each other. Another big topic leading up to this fight will be the rehydration clause. It was revealed that Alvarez would have passed on this opportunity if such a clause were in place. Hearn simply responded, Canelo would never do it. When asked why Crawford hasn't negotiated a rehydration provision, Terence Crawford has consistently accepted the idea that boxing should be a relentless and evolving challenge. Whether it's adapting to a new physique or conquering multiple weight classes, he explains that this is why he's taken the chance to rise through the divisions. His upcoming face-off against fellow 4-division champion Canelo Alvarez is set to be confirmed for September. After attending his gym buddy Steven Nelson's weigh-in for his Saturday night fight against Alvarez's WBO #1 ranked opponent, Diego Pacheco, Crawford told Boxing Scene in an exclusive chat on Friday at the Cosmopolitan, "That's what great fighters are all about, testing yourself against all the odds." With an impressive 40-0 record, Crawford made a victorious leap from his time as the undisputed welterweight champion, taking on the biggest challenges in the sport.
If the knockout come, it come. If it don't, I'm just looking at securing the victory at the end of the day. I never go in a fight looking for the knockout, but if it's there, I'm definitely going to take it.
Prediction on this one?
Like always, a victory.
All right, we'll see how it happens on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Terence Crawford, Israel Madrimov, Saturday from BMO Stadium here in Los Angeles. Champ, always good to see you. Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate it.
Saudi power player Turki Alik has poured significant resources into honoring his admiration for Terence Crawford, elevating him to top billing for Alik's inaugural U.S. event in August. Despite some tension with Canelo Alvarez, Alik has worked tirelessly to push this highly anticipated showdown toward reality. Crawford expressed his gratitude, saying, "I'm definitely thankful for what Turki has done in the sport of boxing. He's making all the biggest fights happen, all of these big money fights. He's a big player himself, and he's putting in so much to make the fights everyone wants to see. I'm very happy with how things are moving and excited about where everything is going." In 2023, Canelo Alvarez made headlines with his remark, "If you look at his record, he's just beaten one good boxer." Terence Crawford was taken aback by the unified super middleweight's declaration that he would not be participating in the fight. A year and a half has passed, and now, as talks between their teams heat up, fans are on the edge of their seats, waiting for the fight to come to fruition. Old remarks are being reignited, including a clip from a 2023 interview that recently emerged. Crawford's sister, Letitia Crawford, didn't take kindly to Canelo's insinuations, remarking on X, formerly Twitter, "They all sing the same song." However, the Guadalajara native later clarified his previous stance and acknowledged the potential for conflict. In an interview with Ring Magazine's Mike Coppinger, Canelo was asked about his views on a potential fight with Crawford. The interview noted that, regardless of the outcome, should Crawford defeat Canelo, many critics would likely attribute the victory to the weight difference between the two fighters. Canelo, however, seemed unfazed by the attacks. In his view, the drama surrounding the fight has only fueled fan excitement, making them even more eager to see it. "The fans want to see it," Canelo said, hinting that the fight might happen. "Maybe fans will get to see it." The 34-year-old went on to praise Crawford, describing him as a skilled fighter with exceptional abilities. While he admitted the fight could take place, he remained unsure, stating, "We might witness that battle. Perhaps we don't know yet," and acknowledged the possibility of an intense showdown if it materializes.
Wrong, he's a good fighter. He's really good abilities and everything. And maybe we will see that fight. Man, we don't know yet.
Canelo, look, something you said to me a while ago really resonated. You said basically, if somebody's going to disrespect me, I don't want to punish them in the ring and beat them up and say, "Hey, here's, all this money," because everyone always makes their career high payday facing you, right?
The 6 feet 2 inches fighter also opened up about why he would prefer to take on Terence Crawford over David Benavidez. In the same conversation, Canelo Alvarez explained that he declined a challenge from Benavidez due to the disrespect he felt from both Benavidez and his father. Canelo believed that agreeing to the fight under those circumstances would have meant giving the 28-year-old the biggest payday of his career, win or lose, a gesture he wasn't willing to make. Alvarez clarified that, at this stage in his career, he is willing to fight anyone, including all the top champions. However, he expressed displeasure with the way certain fighters approach him when calling him out. "These challenges don't warrant financial rewards," he stated, emphasizing that he is now in a position where he can make his own decisions. He added that he simply didn't appreciate the manner in which Benavidez had approached him about setting up the fight. Despite the disrespect, the unified super middleweight champion hasn't completely ruled out the fight, saying, "But like I say, you never know. Maybe someday I wake up and I say, I want to fight that guy." The 34-year-old admitted that, at this stage, a showdown between him and Benavidez seems improbable, especially as Benavidez is gearing up to face David Morrell and intends to remain at 175 pounds in the meantime. For now, fans are holding out hope that Canelo and Crawford can strike a deal, giving boxing fans the highly anticipated fight this year. Canelo Alvarez seems to be aware of the commotion his recent statements have stirred, but he doesn't appear to be bothered by it. He has repeatedly stated that he wants to battle the greatest fighters, and, as he puts it, "I can do whatever I want." According to ESPN's Mike Coppinger, a highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is reportedly nearing completion. Bob Arum, who had been behind several of Crawford's fights until their split in 2021, believes that Crawford's unique skill set could present challenges for Canelo, even with the weight difference that would force the 37-year-old Alvarez to move up 2 weight divisions. Arum told Fight Hype, "I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight because he has a unique talent. He's a great boxer puncher and he is totally ambidextrous, so he drives his opponents crazy. They train to fight a right-hand fighter and then they end up fighting a southpaw." Meanwhile, Crawford made history by becoming a 4-weight world champion, recently winning the WBA super welterweight title with a points victory over Israel Madrimov. It's still unclear if Canelo, a 4-division world champion, will step into the ring on his traditional Cinco de Mayo date this May. One possible opponent could be IBF champion Jermell Charlo, but if Canelo chooses to fight Crawford, a victory could secure his return to undisputed super middleweight champion status.
With you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We don't talking about yet about the fight. Me and Turkarash know each other, and then we wanna We wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp? When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
In
here.
camp, training camp in March.
Okay, so when
At the beginning of the middle of the February or March. Yeah.
With the massive last crescendo card from Riyadh season being one of the most anticipated events of the year, the next 12 months are shaping up to be an exciting time for boxing. The event will feature 3 World Championship fights, adding even more excitement to the night. Outside of that card, the potential matchup between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is gaining significant momentum. This comes after the two fighters recently sat down with His Excellency Turki Alik in London over the past few days. If a battle between Alvarez and Crawford were to happen, it would undoubtedly be a fight that fans would be excited to witness. However, the location remains a challenge, as most of the world's biggest boxing bouts are now taking place in Saudi Arabia, with Riyadh emerging as the new fight capital. According to Eddie Hearn of Matchroom, who has previously worked with Alvarez, the Canelo-Crawford showdown would only work in one location. Hearn told Dogan News, "Canelo vs Crawford only works for me in America. It's just that wherever Alec is going to be involved in the process, like Ben Eubank will be in England, he will be involved to get it made. I'm not sure Canelo vs Crawford happens in Saudi, if I'm honest, or at all, but I don't see many options for Canelo right now." In 2024, Crawford competed only once, securing a victory over Israel Madrimov to win his 4th world title in as many weight classes. Meanwhile, Alvarez enhanced his record with 2 wins. Reports suggest that Canelo and Crawford are getting closer to a potential September fight for Alvarez's combined super middleweight titles. Crawford, the reigning WBA super welterweight champion, is moving up 2 weight classes to face the Mexican icon, and sources indicate that Crawford is not asking for a rehydration clause. The weight difference between the two is the main reason why Mexican legend Julio Cesar Chavez believes Canelo will defeat Crawford by knockout. Chavez told US News, "Canelo is very strong. He has a lot of weight. Canelo will knock him out in 6 rounds. Crawford is a good fighter, but there are weight classes." Despite not fighting since his victory over Madrimov in August, Crawford is not considering an interim fight, according to Boxing Scene.
Projected odds that came out. One of the odds projectors say Canelo is opening up as the favorite, -130. Crawford is +100. That's damn near 50-50. Another one says Canelo Alvarez is the favorite, -185. Crawford is the underdog, only +55. Let me tell you something. If those are the odds on my booking come day one, I'm max betting Canelo Alvarez. I could give a damn. If y'all mean to tell me that y'all think it's 50-50, I'ma empty my account on Canelo Alvarez. I don't have to bet KO, none of that shit. If y'all think it's that close, I'ma empty my account. $30,000, I can give a shit. I'm about to come up. I was gonna bet on Crawford, thinking he'd be the huge underdog. Y'all got it that narrow?
That's all for today's show. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss any of our future videos.